and welcome to yet another episode of the Unnamed Gaming Podcast. Oh my god, what is that? Padcast!
It's the new name. We're changing it.
Padcast, that is it.
We're rebranding.
Yeah, we're rebranding, guys. I'm Nettle Creates. It's already gone wrong. I'm Nettle Creates, the host for this evening, general idiot, gamer, streamer, cosplayer, person. I'm waving at my camera that isn't on, so that's going to be the mood of today's podcast recording. Bendy!
Name of the podcast. Whatever you said, Padcast.
Padcast. I'm waving at my... Welcome to the Padcast. I'm waving at my camera.
A podcast is a podcast, but we write everything down and just pass the notepad around.
Exactly.
I do have stuff written down today, but I was saying, what was I saying? A dozen. We've done a dozen podcasts.
We've done a dozen.
Then something about a baker's dozen. My name is Bendy, Admiral Idiot, cosplayer, gamer, and possibly a streamer.
Get onto that later.
Yes. Hello, I am Tempest B, streamer, gamer, the marshal of all idiots, and happy to be here.
We're happy to have you here.
Oh, fantastic. I'm glad to be a reoccurring guest.
You're our main host. Let's be real.
Face it.
Everyone comes to you, Tempest.
No.
Tempest is the one with the facts, so I just garble. Bendy just says something about Cthulhu. Yep.
All hell.
So, guys, what have you been playing this week? Temp, why didn't you start us?
Yeah, I'll start. I've not played a lot. Unfortunately, we've had a case of the corona in the house. So,
Corona's shown.
Yeah, so kind of streaming and gaming has taken a little backseat this week. So
very understandable.
Just my usual kind of Stardew Valley and Vanguard nonsense, but that's about it. So yep, I'm done. Good, thank you.
Bendy, if you say the same thing, I swear to God.
No, so I forgot to mention, I think last week, that I competed Back for Blood. So I did that.
Finally.
Did it finally after dying countless amounts of times. But we did that, which means we had nothing to play on a Thursday. So we decided to jump into the Outriders update that they've just done. It's just more Outriders. Nothing much else to say about that, really. I find that game fun. You just go in, you shoot things, you knock down things, or you open doors to the next area, you shoot more things, and then you get a pod at the end. So yeah, I had good fun playing that. And then I played a little bit more Backbone. Onto like the third act of that. Getting very juicy in there. And I haven't finished it yet, but the story is progressing forward, and I'm very much enjoying it, and I can't wait to finish it. And then I'm still bad at Rocket League, and that will be a ongoing
reoccurring theme
of still bad at Rocket League, but my friends love to laugh at me, so that's why they invite me to play. I am not helpful in any way, but at least I'm always on the walls, I guess.
See, I feel like you're leading us down a false sense of security here, because one week you're just going to turn around and say, I kicked arse at Rocket League, and we're going to be like, what? I
don't think I've ever scored more than 35 points.
I thought you were going to say goals then, and I was going to say, how is that shit?
I scored one goal, and that was when we were playing against each other.
Yay, friends!
And I think, they're not that they're not that kind to let me get a goal. I genuinely got a goal, and it was probably accidental. I don't know how it worked. But I have good fun because we just have a good laugh. Like when you even if you're not good at something and you're playing with your friends, you're just like, this is fun. I'm really enjoying this. So that's what I've been playing. And I really wanted to get a sneak in of Halo before we started recording, but I forgot to actually download the thing for it. So
That seems like a reoccurring theme today. Sorry. We were watching somebody who also didn't download it.
The other day when I checked, it was like, oh, you've pre-installed it. I was like, cool, good, so I don't need to do anything else. And then when I went to go and turn it on about an hour ago, it was like, no, you have a 28 gig to download. Oh,
yep.
Great, good, brilliant. Thanks. So yeah, as soon as we jump off this, I'm probably just gonna dip my little toes into Halo for a little bit.
Very nice.
And then that's what I'll be talking about next week. So, well, yeah. Or whatever.
Well, whatever.
The future.
The future. That's all.
Cool.
Can I take a guess?
Go for
take
it.
a wild guess.
Just out in
Is
the,
it Destiny 2?
Yes. Oh my god,
Have you
how the
been playing Destiny
hell
2?
did you get that?
I just, yeah, no, just a wild, into the deep guess, like
First time playing
out of
it.
there. Yep. Was not expecting it at all. Thought that was going to be, yep, nope. Good.
Yeah, so I was hoping to play some new stuff that wasn't Destiny 2 on the weekend, but unfortunately I was not well on the weekend, so basically spent most of the time on my sofa playing Stardew Valley. But on a positive note on that, I did get my first ever giant melon. So, I mean, time well spent. But yes, yesterday and today, because I am one of those people who does take a day off work when DLC drops or any new content drops. I've been playing the new Bungie's 30th anniversary DLC for Destiny 2, and it quite frankly is just a fantastic piece of DLC. We got a new dungeon and we got a new 6-player activity. So the 6-player activity is just the funny. It's like it's got all of the gameplay of Destiny 2 and all of the little bit of puzzles, a little bit here, a little bit there. You know, got these balls. There's always balls in Destiny 2, but it hasn't taken itself seriously at all. They've made it in this theme of like a game show where there's this character called Zer who is like a little servant of some other astral beings called the Nine, which I'm not going to get into because God, we could be here all day. And he's like the talk show host of this game show, and he's telling you all about these things, and he is joined by the celestial horse who neighs and whinnies in various different tones, and it's the most hilarious thing in the world. It is brilliant. So if you were debating getting this DLC, it's well worth the money you're paying for it, just for the 6-player activity. But then they brought a dungeon in. For anybody who doesn't know, in Destiny 2, dungeons are 3-player activities. They are harder content than normal. They're not quite as hard as raids, but they do have some mechanics that are like raids. They're kind of like this pre-raid thing. You go in with a fire team of 3 and you get your mechanics done, and then there's bosses, and then there's the big end boss where you have to put all your mechanics from the previous like aspects of the dungeon in, and you go forth and win, and you get some really nice loot from it. And for anybody who played Destiny 1, there was in the Cosmodrome this little area called the Loot Cave, which was basically where things just spawned and spawned and spawned, and you could kill them all and just get lots of loot, lots of guns, lots of... Yeah.
I loved that cave. I spent hours shooting at that cave.
Exactly. They've made a dungeon out of it. Where that cave is the start of the dungeon, and you just endlessly have to keep shooting things until you get up enough of stacks of I can't remember what it's called now, but there's stacks of the thing that you need to get in order to get onto the next. And the bottom of the cave opens up and you go into the different parts of the dungeon. It's hilarious. It's a really good dungeon. Really good.
What a pleasing troll, Bungie.
It absolutely is.
That's a good troll.
It really is. But so the whole thing about this dungeon is it's the main quest step to get a certain weapon back. A certain weapon in Destiny 1 that everybody loved. Galahorn. We got Galahorn back, baby! For anybody who doesn't know, Galahorn is a rocket launcher. It's a beautiful rocket launcher. I actually have a model, like a full-scale model of it. I bought one for my birthday.
I remember when you bought that.
Yeah, you were with me.
I was there.
That was when you won. That was when your Zelda won first place. LFCC.
Was that LFCC? I thought it was EGX.
It was LFCC. It was when I was Spider-Gwen. I really freaked the cashier guy out. Was it Just Geek or whatever the store was that was selling it? Because I came up in this Spider-Gwen outfit, looking all cutesy and stuff.
Here, can I buy a gun?
And I was like, can I have the Galahorn? He was like, oh, are you buying that for somebody else? I was like, no, I'm a massive Destiny 2 fan. I'm a Morlock main, mate. I want my gun. Just give me it and stop being sexist.
Give me gun.
Give gun. So
Give it.
I did have it in my room up until I had to move it around and I couldn't fit it in anymore. So it's in my bedroom now and is in private place. And one day I will get to use it to, kill things in a loot cave and I will be happy. And then probably get arrested. But yes, that is what I have been playing so far this week. Whenever I'm going to, everybody should know by now, whenever there's any Destiny 2 content, that's going to be what I'm playing this week. Oh. But yeah, it's really good. Also, we'll just say quickly, once again, have said it for the last 3 weeks, I think. Everyone's going to be sick and tired of it. If you haven't played Forsaken yet, please, it's free on every platform. Go and play Forsaken before it leaves. That's it, I'm done.
And scene.
What they
And
do,
scene. Ooh, I
they
hit the
get
microphone.
it and they pop it in a thingy, and you can never get to it again.
Yeah,
It's got,
it
a
goes.
combination lock. You can't get in.
Yep.
Even no matter how much you try.
The problem
Vault,
is
that's the word I was thinking of.
the vault. Yes, it is going into the vault.
Got all those spinny combination locks.
One of the spin dials is broken though, so it doesn't matter even if you put the right number in, it ain't coming out. The right number is obviously like 7777, but yeah. But yeah, it's an interesting week. It is. There's a bit of downtime for everyone, I think, because of, well, it's just that time of year again, isn't it? Where people are slightly ill, people are very ill, or people are just a little bit busy with Christmas crap. And yeah, that's a term.
The fact the sun goes down so early, it makes me very tired, and I'm just like, can I be bothered to play?
I'm one of those weird people who loves winter, and it's just like makes me feel good that it goes to like dark at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
I need some vitamin D.
Yeah.
Even though I don't go outside in the summer, I still need vitamin D.
Yeah. Take your vitamin D supplements, people. It's a thing the NHS tells you to do. Mother Nettle has spoken.
Yes. Listen to Mother Nettle.
Listen to Mother Nettle. And while we're listening to Mother... Well, yeah. She just needs a pat on her head and a hug. Don't worry, folks. While we're listening to Mother Nettle, we shall listen to some news as well. In the news in the gaming world. Tempest, why don't you inform us of what news has happened in the gaming world this week?
Okay. Okay, cokes. So, you know how much we love Game Pass. Yeah. We talk about it every week.
It. No,
oh, is that a different podcast a month?
That's our own personal podcast.
Yeah, that's one we do when we're off recording.
Yes.
But rumor has it that finally Sony are pulling their finger out their ass and giving us a PlayStation version of the Game Pass. Huzzah! Huzzah! So initial reports are that they're going to combine the PlayStation Plus and the PlayStation Now to create a PlayStation, like a new subscription service. Said to launch in the spring of 2022, so possibly not long to wait. The only thing that I've seen that kind of does annoy me a little bit with it, because I mean, like the way I look at it is, like if you're paying your PlayStation Plus, which isn't overly expensive, but then you play your PlayStation Now as well, it's together, it's quite, it's not cheap for a month. but it's the fact that there's potentially 3 tiers to this. The first one is your base PlayStation Plus subscription, which you got now anyway. Tier 2 would add a large selection of PS4 games, with potential PS5 games added down the line. And then the third tier throws in extended demos, game streaming, and access to PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, and PSP games. Now, as much as that's a massive win in terms of the amount of games you'll have at your fingertips, the fact that it's at 3 different tiers worries me for that price.
So, there's possibility of PS5 games down the line. Possibility.
It says with tier. It does say with PS5 games being added down the line.
I suspect that's because, quite frankly, there are not that many PS5 games.
Well, the thing is as well. It's like they when they first launched the PS5, they had the PS5 collection, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which was a load of fantastic games, but the PlayStation's been out for over a year now, and they've not added anything to that, which I find highly annoying, but also surprising. I thought that was a brilliant idea. Give us all these great it's Sony exclusives and whatnot, at your fingertips for having a PS5 and that. But I kind of thought they might add a game or two as the months went on, but nothing's been added to it. Now, whether things change entirely with this whole new subscription service, I don't know. I mean, have either of you ever tried playing on PS Now?
Bendy doesn't. Yeah.
No, that's fine.
No. The answer is no.
Okay, that's fine. Because the difference between the PS Now thing and Game Pass is Game Pass, you download the game. PS Now, you stream the game. So, and I tried playing some of the PS Now games when I first got my PlayStation 5, and it buffered and it was pixelated, and I was thinking potentially to stream some games off of it, and just sitting there playing on my own, it just looked awful. I was trying to play Ratchet and Clank, and it just kept being this pixelated mess.
If you, I guess, if you're streaming a game and then you're trying to stream that game that you're streaming, got less bandwidth, so therefore it's gonna be shitter, right?
Yeah, but I wasn't streaming at the time though. That's the problem. I was just playing the game, but because it's not a download, it is a case of if something does kind of you get the glitches and what's the word I can't think of the word, but when you kind of it drops in your network or anything like that, the game just turned to crap and it was kind of unplayable. I actually did stop playing it. So
I mean, it's not even your network that might be the problem. PS servers are well renowned for being quite shit, quite frankly. So trying to stream off them is just a nightmare.
Has this said if it's going to be streaming or whether it's going to be downloadable, or has it said yet?
They've not said. There's nothing said of that. They've just said they're combining the two. But if they want it to be as successful as the Game Pass, just make them make them downloadable. It's not like you can't use the same techniques that Xbox have used for the Game Pass. You just if you take it off of the new PlayStation service, unless you own it, you can't play it anymore. It's that simple.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, I am excited because of the fact that it means that I'll have access to more games to play, which would be great. It is just this 3-tier service, dependent on how expensive that is, because just the regular PS Plus subscription is $6.99 a month, and that's what I have at the moment. I can't tell you off the top of my head. I can just have a look actually now. How much the PS Now is? PlayStation Now is $8.99 a month. So if you was doing both of those, that's £16 a month. If you're doing them separately, because there's no combined thing.
Yeah.
So you got to think about it. If they've got the regular tier, which might stay at $6.99, then you've got the second tier, which could potentially be that price, $16.99, and then if you add the third tier on it, you could be looking at £25 a month. But that's kind of worst case scenario. I think it's we'll see when the tiers are released. But that kind of, it's just the fact that there is a tier service. It kind of makes me feel like money grabbing.
Okay, it
And
feels
also,
like
another feeling of money grabbing there is the reason why they're not putting PS5 games on it straight away is because they're afraid they're not going to make enough money, so they still want to make money out of the PS5 games, which are £70. That's what it feels to me, but I am a massive cynic when it comes to everything. So, but I just feel like they're not adding them onto that PS5 onto there because they want people to buy them still. So, yeah, not cynical. I don't hate PlayStation. I honestly don't. I just wish they wouldn't gatekeep games.
Yeah, the thing that like that. I mean, I know you had the big rant about it and everything, and I kind of get where you're coming from, but that doesn't bother me too much. But that's only because I have access to everything because I have all the consoles. I mean, from where you were coming from, I didn't have the Xbox like the previous iteration when it first come out, and they started, and they obviously released Sunset Overdrive, and I absolutely wanted to play that, just couldn't, and it annoyed me. But
It was across the board my hatred for exclusives. I feel like everybody should have all access to anything on what they want to access it on. And I'm even including you, Nintendo. I'm pointing at you.
Are you going to go and try and buy Nintendo?
Oh, I'm going to get them to call me. They can call me.
Call me.
I've got £1 here if you want it.
Oh lord.
That's it. Oh my god. Are we going to start the unnamed gaming company and we're just going to buy them all out? Just put it all under one roof.
But all you have to do is go on Twitter and say you own it. So,
fair enough.
like that dude that owns Atari but doesn't actually own Atari. It's like a rapper or something. And they came out and went, "No, you certainly do not own Atari. What are you talking about?" Oh, good call. Anyway, I don't know who it was, but I heard it somewhere.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so that's my news. That's my take on it. So
that's a definite wait and see what happens situation.
Yeah, I mean, it's very much I'm excited for it, but I'm potentially going to be annoyed when it's released because they're bound to do something to annoy me.
Yeah. Cool.
To clarify my thing, it wasn't me making up. It was Soldier Boy.
Oh god.
Said he owned Atari, but he certainly doesn't own an Atari.
No.
Yeah.
Move along.
Silly Soldier Boy.
Moving along to Bendy. What you got for us this week?
So I've got a video game adjacent. So here's the road of video game news. I am on the side street, kind of. So are any of you fans of Parks and Recreation?
I've watched a fair bit of it.
So great show, love it. How this links to video games, I will tell you. The Last of Us HBO show have cast Nick Offerman as Bill. I don't know who that is in Last of Us, but I love Nick Offerman. I think he's a great actor, and if it's a grumpy person, he's probably going to play it really, really well. And I know I don't want to play Last of Us, but this has made me want to watch Last of Us. So,
I mean, Ron Swanson. Wow.
Yes, exactly. If it's like a Ron Swanson-y like character, and this article I read used the word curmudgeon, which
what?
Is that a word?
Yes. Curmudgeon. It's a Ron Swanson. He's a curmudgeon. I don't know how to describe if you don't know what that word means. But
I need to. I'm gonna Google it now.
Yeah. It's like they use curmudgeon. It's like a grumpy old man, bad-tempered person, usually an old one.
Oh, well, there you go.
Tempest
Then.
is a curmudgeon.
Oh, that's me then.
Curmudgeon. You are not a bad temper. Well, actually, yeah, we do have a lot of rage on this show.
I am
we are,
very bad
Actually,
tempered.
it's more that he's not old, but
Oh, no, I'm old.
he's
We're all old
literally
here.
not. Okay, he's literally about the same age as us, everybody. He likes to make
Yeah,
out that
I'm
he's old.
So I
but-
don't know what you're talking about. The fact me and Tempest are old, you can get to your close to your actual
Listen,
30s.
I'm
We're
old
mid
in
now.
physicality,
Ah,
not
right.
necessarily.
Oh, well,
number
if
of
we're
years
going
I've been on
there.
planet Earth.
Jesus.
I've got a bad back. You hear?
I've got bad knees.
I am
Yeah.
riddled with arthritis.
Okay, you win.
Yes, I get an award.
Yes, you are curmudgeon of the podcast.
You are the curmudgeon.
Excellent. Excellent.
Here is your
That's good.
trophy.
So I'm no longer the
How
marshal.
did we get into these subjects?
because
I really
that's
like the
what
word
we do.
Anyway,
This
so
article
yes.
was quite fun. So I will be. I've seen like the casting and stuff of Last of Us, and it looks like it's a fairly good cast. But them throwing old Nick Offerman in there, the man's got a voice like honey,
Melted butter.
like melted butter, and I just could listen to him just speak words. And also, Ron Swanson is probably one of the best characters on TV.
Absolutely.
Bite me. He's so cool, and I love him. And if the character's anything like Ron Swanson, again, I don't know. Have never played Last of Us. I feel like it's a good casting. So yes. What do you guys feel about this?
I feel like it's good casting, but I would always be worried that somebody that was casted from Parks and Rec is ultimately a comedian, and I don't feel like that's a thing for The Last of Us.
But he's not really just a comedian. I think that's just his most well-known role. I think that's the thing. He's quite well known for that, but he has done quite some serious films and things.
Okay.
But
He has a super serious face,
Serious
Yeah.
face.
doesn't he?
The
His
thing
face
is,
just looks really serious.
if it's a TV show, it's going to be like a drama in it, but there's going to be humor to it. Everything, even super serious dramas have a bit of humor in them because we're humans. We make light of every situation. But we'll see. I mean, I am in the same place as Bendy. I know nothing about the game, so I know not this character. I just know that it's now Nick Offerman and Pedro Pascal, so I'm kind of in.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal is very good as well.
Yes. Okay, that's
just look-
yeah.
That's my video game adjacent news. Okay, I've just looked up pictures of him, of this Bill character. I'm like, I can see it. I can see Nick Offerman here. Anyway,
fair enough.
let's move on. What's your news there, Nickel? What are you on?
So, my news is, I assume that everybody knows who Take-Two Interactive are?
Yes.
The owners of Gearbox? Question mark.
2K Games and Rockstar Games. It might be Gearbox, but I've only got those two up on my
Okay.
on my thing at the moment. It might make me look sort of stupid. No, I'm joking.
No, I'm probably stupid.
So, as we all know, Take-Two Interactive have a reputation for taking everything and anyone that might have anything to do with their name or any of the subsidiary names to court. And they've struck again. Take-Two Interactive have taken the developers of It Takes Two to court over a trademark dispute. Because they named their game It Takes Two.
Fuck me.
And as we all
The
know,
words.
everybody tried to download Take-Two Interactive instead of It Takes Two. It is a completely ridiculous court case. Unfortunately, because of how big Take-Two Interactive are, they get away with it every time because the people that they sue are small enough that they cannot defend it.
I'm gonna start TMing the word bendy. No one's allowed to use the word bendy.
It's
But what about this straw I'm about to put in my drink?
no, it's just
it's just a straw. It's not a bendable straw. It's just a straw.
It's not a bendy straw.
No, I'll have to call it a flexi straw
It's
or
a
something.
collapsible straw.
Collapsible straw.
But it's you can't trademark the words Take-Two. Take-Two. You
Surely they'd be suing like every film and TV studio then when they're like using the old clapperboard. Take-Two. As soon as they say that, there's a fucking lawyer there. Nope.
Yeah.
cease and desist.
Skip. Go straight to 3.
So, this has come from a round of them basically trying to trademark everything and anything that has anything to do with any of their titles. And this includes Rockstar, and these are just the words. Rockstar, Take-Two, Bully, and variants thereof. They are trying to trademark those words. The problem is, I don't think in America that they'll just let them do it. In Britain, they won't be able to do it. We don't trademark works like that over here. It doesn't work that way. They can't. But they are crazy in America.
So whenever a rock band goes out and they talk about like a singer in a rock band, they're not going to be able to call them rock stars because Rockstar have trademarked the word rockstar, which you have taken from rock stars.
Legitimately, that is how it works. Every time you print somebody describing them as a rock star, if they were allowed to do this, they could potentially be sued by 2K.
I kind of get like the 2K something games. I get that they can be copyrighted because they have 2K as their marketing. So I kind of understand 2K to an extent, but not the word rockstar or Take-Two.
Not the term Take-Two is ridiculous. It's like, it's not just one word, it's two. It's like everybody says Take-Two is used on a lot of things. You literally can't do it. Not only that, they are not going to change the name of a game that has come out and sold nearly 3 million copies already and could potentially be named Game of the Year. And quite frankly, it sounds to me like this is the only reason that Take-Two Interactive have got involved now. How big the game has become and the fact that it may actually become Game of the Year of the Game Awards.
So,
because it's been out for like 4 months.
Are they asking them to change the name, or are they asking for royalties to use the word Take-Two?
I don't know. It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
Because the whole premise of the game is about it taking two people, right?
Yeah.
From what I understand. But what could they change the name to? Which just means they'll have to give Take-Two Interactive, a multi-billion-dollar company, a small amount of money out of an indie studio. No,
Yeah.
That's not on. You money-grabbing pricks.
Literally.
You done it again.
Literally. I know, I'm terrible. I get the rage. And this is going to make you even more angry. The problem is, Hazelight, who are the developers, as I said, most of these people do not have the money to take on Take-Two Interactive, because let's face it, Take-Two Interactive are pretty much the biggest game developer out there at this point in time. And publisher.
It's because they fucking sued everyone.
Because they sue everybody else. Hazelight have abandoned or left to lapse the trademark for Take-Two. They've been bullied into not doing anything about this. The problem with that being, they have a massive title with the term Take-Two in it. If they've done that, trademark gets by Take-Two Interactive, and it's seen that actually, yeah, they're using this trademark name, they're going to have to pay money anyway. It's ridiculous. Take-Two Interactive need to be stomped on by the courts and told to get the fuck out and stop. I am sick and tired of these massive publishers, especially Take-Two Interactive, thinking that they can just do whatever they want and take down indie developers whenever they try to use any term that's anywhere near anything they might trademark. It is ridiculous. You cannot trade every single fucking word in the English dictionary.
Soon it will just be, right, you can't say take and you can't say two, so you can't have any multiples. So Psychonauts 2 is gonna get sued soon because they used the number 2. Two. Like, you can't have sequels anymore. No, because Take-Two is gonna take you to court because there's a 2 in it.
What's going to happen
what's the number 2
is they're going to try and do that. They're going to trademark the number 2 and they're going to take on another massive studio, and that massive studio will be like, fuck you, we have more money than you, we're going to fight you. And that will be the end of it. But they are doing this only to little studios, deliberately. Little studios and little, like, products as well. It's not just studios. I think it also happened with what's it called? Energy drink at some point as well. They got to stop doing this. They can't do it. They're just doing it to the little people, knowing full well they'll get away with it. Quite frankly, Take-Two, if you keep doing this, people will start getting so pissed off, they will stop buying your shit. Okay, it started to happen with other things in the game studio. It will happen with you. You are not that good anymore, all right?
I mean, at the end of the day, what they're doing is bullshit. And we could sit here and scream and shout about this till our faces turn blue, but it's a ridiculous thing that they're trying to do, especially to these small companies that have made these fantastic games, and they're now potentially going to not be able to make games anymore because they're just going to lose out.
They're driving out companies that could make more little great games that we desire. Over
your AAA shite.
Yeah, right. I have loved like Rockstar Games and stuff, but I just think it's just so dumb. Just let them be. Stop it.
Yes, this is the unfortunate news that once again 2K Interactive are at it again, and quite frankly, we are getting tired of your bullshit, 2K Interactive. Don't call us. Just do the right thing.
We don't want you here.
We don't want to speak to you. Cool. Well, that was the news this week.
It was
the news this week. So, going on to our next topic. We usually pose each other questions, as you all know, around gaming-related things. But however, this week is, as I'm sure most of you all know, the Gaming Awards. It will be on Thursday of this week. So that is tomorrow as we're recording the podcast, but obviously 2 days before if you're listening to it on Saturday, which you obviously will be because that's when it comes out. So, we are going to run down a few of the categories and give you the answers to what we thought should win. I know we did go through this a few weeks ago, but this is our answers to what we thought should win, not what was nominated per se. Although, I'm going to be honest, a lot of mine are the same. So, we're going to start with the best narrative, which is basically the best story and progression of the game. Bendy, hit us.
I went with, I've not played like a massive amount this year, but I went with the medium.
Oh, okay.
So I just found it was, without sort of going into too much detail, because you kind of need to play it to really understand the nuances of the story, I guess. I found the psychological side of it and the mixture between the normal world and the spirit world really interesting. And I found like being able to manipulate the spirit world to understand the real world was like this really, really cool thing that they had. And then the story as well was like, oh, oh, okay, all right. And it was very surprising all the way right up to the end, although they alluded to it right at the beginning. You weren't expecting that end. I wasn't expecting that end to come. And I thought it was really, really good story of it. And a bit heart-wrenching and a bit stomach churning at times as well. Yeah, and I just thought that was a really, really good game. And I had forgotten that I had played it this year. I've never mentioned it in the podcast before, but actually it's a really, really good game that actually came out this year.
Fair enough. Yeah, I had heard a good amount of decent things about the medium. It's not a game that I don't think I'd ever be able to play for various amounts of reasons. But it looks cool. And yeah, I had heard that the storyline, the narrative to it was really good. So, interesting one. I don't think that was that actually nominated this year? I don't think it was.
No, Returnal,
was, yeah.
They're the ones I kept getting confused between, but
yeah. Interesting.
I don't think it was on any of those lists, but it was a really good game.
Cool. Tempest. And I swear to God, if your answer to everything is Ratchet and Clank.
No, because I took this slightly different to like what your thing was. I took this as the games I've played this year.
Yeah.
As in like my personal thing. And I didn't play a lot of those games that have been nominated or come out. So I'm going with what I played for the first time this year. So they were new to me.
Yeah.
Not necessarily new this year, but you'll get it. But my best narrative is Destiny 2. Because I absolutely loved the story. Was it the Forsaken thing?
Yeah.
Oh, that I was literally sat on the edge of my seat watching that. Like when the cutscenes come through, and like even just playing through it felt like I was playing through the cutscene with him talking to you as you go through and everything. So
yeah, buddy.
And as a first-time Destiny 2 player, I was that I think that's kind of what made me think, yeah, I'm going to play a lot of this. I haven't, which is annoying.
We'll get there. We'll get you there.
Yeah,
we'll get you there.
But yeah, so
you have no idea how happy that makes me feel.
I wish I had misunderstood the assignment and done that too.
Oh.
But technically I have.
Yeah,
I just haven't chosen old games.
This is why I'm the martial idiot. See, I'm proper up in the air, so airhead style.
No, but to be fair, there's.
But I like it. The
amount of games that are out this year actually is much down from usual. I mean, you have to remember that. So it's fine. I mean, these aren't real awards. We're not going to send them anything.
No,
although
like
I'm happy to tweet any of the community managers for Destiny 2 and be like, we've got an award for you guys.
Yeah. The Marshall Idiot Award for
the Idiot's
Best
Award
Narrative.
for Best Narrative. I'm sure they'll love it.
It's like I said, there's a lot of these new games that got awards out. Some of them I'm just not interested in. Some of them I will play, but it won't be like as soon as they come out or whatever. So I didn't want to sit there and go, the best narrative's this because I watched someone play it. It's different when you watch someone play a game to playing it yourself. So
obviously, yeah.
Yes, but that's fine. Nettle, what's yours?
So my best narrative is a game that I actually played with somebody else. It was the multiplayer, and we have already discussed it. It Takes Two. Because it's a wonderful. It's a wonderful.
We're gonna get sued by Take-Two Interactive.
Oh no, we're gonna get sued. Sorry, guys. We're gonna have to shut the podcast down. Sorry.
We'll just bleep it out. It's fine.
Yeah, okay. I just thought it was a really good narrative from the start when you find out like what's happening with this little family, all the way from the progression all the way through from the two characters not really liking each other to then working together, and it was like bits of the story we were like, oh yay, we get to do this, and then they got to one particular bit of the story where the two characters like, we have to do this to get our child to like us again, and both me and the whole ATNH who I was playing with both went, no, you can't do that, it just invested you in the narrative. Like, it got you going. It's like you were really involved in this, and you were like, I'm going to have to do this thing that I really don't want to do. Like, you didn't agree with the choices that these characters were making, but you also didn't get the choice to not do it. So you had to come up with these ethical solutions for it in your head in order to figure out what was happening. It was just really, really well done. And you just ended up really liking all of the characters that you were with. You especially felt sorry for the child, quite frankly, which is probably what they were after. So yeah, it was just a very good story. It was very good. Like, they knew what they were doing and they made it well. But
that was one of the ones that was actually nominated for Best Narrative, right?
It actually was, yeah. Which I won't apologise for. It's just a very good game.
Nothing wrong with that. Probably
just so happens that I played it, so...
It's on Game Pass, though, isn't it?
It is, I think, yeah. And I think it's a co-op Game Pass, so the second person you play it with doesn't have to buy it. They can just play it with you.
Cool.
Yes. But yes, that was my best narrative, and now we go on to this next one is best score, like score in music. I found this difficult because I realised of all the games that I played this year, I actually couldn't remember the soundtrack to a lot of them, which doesn't sound very good, quite frankly. But that's more me than anything else. So
no, I struggled with this one as well.
Yeah, Bendy, I'm going to pick on you.
Well, okay, cool. I kind of have two answers because I scribbled them out and then changed it. It's because then I changed what my game of the year would be. So I'm going to say Psychonauts 2.
Ah, okay.
I think the sound design in that game it's so representative of its style.
Yes.
So the way that it is animated, the music fits in so well with that. And that was my thoughts. And again, I'm only doing games that I have physically played and heard the soundtracks for. So yeah, I'm going to say Psychonauts 2 because as the things I just said.
Excellent. Good choice.
Very good. Tempest.
Yeah.
Hello. Right. So my one again. I struggled with this. This was this was sitting here till about 20 minutes before we started this podcast. Blank, unfilled in. So I thought back to some games I've played this year. I went back and I checked out a few of the soundtracks on YouTube, and one straight away kind of spoke to me because if you've never played it, you should. It's Journey.
I heard the soundtrack in that game is absolutely
it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
It's one of them games where yes, it's visually amazing. That's what you're basically on a visual tour of this world and just trying to get from one end to the other. But the music is just as important to this kind of game as anything else. And I literally put the soundtrack on, and the first few bars started kind of playing through, and I was like, "Well, yep, this is it."
Yes,
Didn't
Journey.
need anything else.
Journey is definitely one of the best soundtracks that has ever been in a game. It's beautiful, haunting, but beautiful.
It won awards for its
yes,
for its music when it was released, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like quite a lot of it, and its narrative as well. Because although nobody speaks, there's still a narrative behind it, and the music tells that narrative, which I think is very impressive. Like if just sound and music can tell a story, that's incredible in my eyes.
Yes, there was another one that I was quite close to putting in, but I think Journey beat it out just because of I think it's the same style of game, but I think Journey's just a better game. But it's Abzu. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one.
No, I've not.
I've played it twice now. It's quite short, but it's basically Journey, but you're like a diver and you're swimming through these canyons, and you'll swim through schools of fish, and you're basically following this shark all through these waters and everything. It's really, really nice, like really peaceful, like kind of thing. It's just one of them games where you can just sit, relax, Fuck's sake. Ruined it. But
Adding more words to the name of this podcast.
That's it. Oh my god, you're taking notes.
I've got Padcast waving into our cameras while taking 2 raves. Shit, I'm relaxed.
That's it. But yeah, I would highly recommend playing Abzu if you've not played Abzu as well. That's on the same kind of like, not, I wouldn't say it's on the same level as Journey, but it's good. It is a very good game as well. But Journey was my choice. Nettle, what was yours?
So funny you should say that just before you were literally writing this down just before the podcast, because I literally just changed my answer after you mentioned Journey, because it reminded me of a game that I played that had a very good soundtrack, and apparently I lost my memory on it.
Okay,
so,
I want to know what the one you scribbled out was first.
So the one I scribbled out beforehand was Kina and the Bridge of Spirits, because it does have a very good soundtrack. However, there was one that I played on my 12-hour charity stream earlier this year that had a better soundtrack. And it's very much on the lines of Journey, the game. It's Sable.
Yeah, I knew where it was going. Yeah.
Yes. It's very ethereal music. It's very relaxing. It just helps. It works so well with the game. But there's one particular... There was an actual song that was made specifically for the game. I mean, it's happening now. A lot of, musicians, famous musicians and bands are specifically doing music for games now. It's just a thing. But there's a song called Glider by Japanese Breakfast that plays just as you come out of the tutorial and into the open world. And it's one of those moments where the song perfectly hits the tone of what's happening in the game, and I choked up. I was sitting there playing and I was just like, oh my god. It was one of those songs that just spoke to you on a very deep level when you were this character going off into the world for the first time by themselves in their little glider, and this song starts playing and it's just so it's perfect. It's a beautiful song. Fortunately, we cannot play it on the podcast because we will get DCMA'd. But if you haven't heard it before, please go check out Glider by Japanese Breakfast. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I remember hearing it for the first time, ironically, at the what is the gaming convention in Germany? Brain's gone dead. Gamescom. So they did a special performance there, ironically, another Jeff Keighley event. And I was sitting there thinking, what is this for? It's such a strange song. I don't get it. Like, watching this person perform just on a stage with nothing around it, it was like, all right. But then as soon as that song hits in game, it's just another level. It's one of those moments that you'll always kind of sit there and go, that's beautiful. How did they do that in a game? Usually with those moments, you're sitting in a movie theatre watching one of your favourite characters die. But it's just a perfect moment in a game that just encapsulates everything that you've just done and are about to do. So yeah, that was my last minute change because I have a sieve for a brain and I couldn't remember it.
You did play it in your 12-hour stream.
Yes.
In fairness. So forgive yourself.
Yeah, it was quite early on in my 12-hour stream as well, so I can't remember half of what happened that day.
There you go.
But yes, that was our answers, what we would choose for the best score and music. We are going to go on to the best ongoing game. Bendy, once again, would you like to take it from here?
I don't really play ongoing games, like games as a service. This is what you're thinking, right?
Obviously, yeah.
I don't really play them. So the only one I could think of is maybe Outriders ?
That's an ongoing game. Absolutely, that is an ongoing game. It is going on.
It's going on. And I enjoyed Outriders as much as you can enjoy, essentially a looter shooter. It's what it is. So yeah, and I've jumped back into it when they've done their ongoing stuff for it. So that's the only reason I can say, and I know what you two are going to say, so I thought I'd be different.
Fair enough.
Excuse me.
I don't
You
think
trying to say I'm predictable?
I'm saying Nettle's definitely
I'm
predictable.
predictable as hell on this one. I mean, would you really expect anything else from me?
If she turns around and says, like, I don't know, Apex Legends, I'm like, what? Sorry, who?
No, I think I know what Tempest is.
Yeah.
I think I know what Tempest is going to be, but I'm going to go next. Because we all know what it is going to be. My best ongoing game is Destiny 2!
No!
Shocking!
What a surprise! Such a shock. Jeez. Did not see that coming.
I know.
That door, shut it.
Because I don't know any other game that does what Destiny 2 does. Yes, you've got your Warzones, your Apex, your Fortnites, and to a certain extent your Overwatches, where you've got essentially the same gameplay, but they just put like new events to it or new themes to it. Destiny 2 has an actual narrative that goes off on every single season that comes out, and it flows through those seasons, starting from your big DLC drop in September, October time, and from there you get your narrative all the way through, but a new thing comes in every time, and you get all your loot, you get your new things to do, you get your new characters, you get your old characters coming back in. There's a certain thing that Destiny 2 does that I just don't think any other game does ever. It's not a BR, obviously. It's not just like an arena shooter like Halo or Overwatch and stuff, but it does something. There's something new, and it just keeps going. It's still got its PvP. It's still got some of the elements from, you know, base Destiny 2. Not all of them, obviously. Some of them have been taken away. But it's the only one I know that keeps a narrative going from start to finish with just different points coming in to do something new. And that is why it is my best ongoing game. Tempest.
It will be for the next 30 years.
Abso-friggin-lutely.
Until it stops ongoing, which it probably never will. So.
I don't know about that. I think I'll give it another 3 or 4 years at most, and that will be it. But
Destiny 3.
Well, Destiny 3 was meant to be coming out this year. I think it was meant to be coming out, and then I think they just scrapped the idea of doing Destiny 3 and have basically said we can't take the 2 away from Destiny 2 because unfortunately I think Activision still have some rights to Destiny the first. But we're just basically just going to turn it into the Destiny universe without actually putting any numbers on it. But they've kind of wished and washed around that.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. The DEU, not to be confused with the DCEU. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Bit cool, yes. Tempest!
Hello.
What's your best ongoing game?
My best ongoing game. My vote goes to Phasmophobia.
Actually, a shock.
No, I'm surprised.
I was not expecting that.
I could have easily just said Overwatch, but I don't think... I mean, my love for Overwatch, yes, I could have just put it in there, but thinking about it logically, they've not really done anything new to Overwatch for so many years now, apart from maybe give us a few skins here and there.
Yeah.
That at this point, it isn't really an ongoing game, is it? They've just give you a few events where you get skins. There's been like there's no heroes.
No.
They added a map like the other month as an apology for delaying Overwatch 2 or whatever, and it's like it just I don't think it can be classed as an ongoing game at this point. Yes, you can still play it with your friends and that, but nothing's changing.
No.
They're concentrating all on Overwatch 2, so I thought that I would think of something else that I enjoy playing, and Phasmophobia come to it because I've been playing for about a year now.
Yeah.
Maybe just over a year. And we've played other games like Phasmophobia, but we always go back to Phasmophobia, and they are constantly working on it. So
That is
Here's
a
to you,
really
Phasmophobia.
good answer. That is a really good answer. I didn't even think about
Blink.
that.
I have my moments.
You do indeed, sir.
I love how you did actually take a drink there.
I you heard that.
I genuinely didn't even think about Phasmophobia, and it is a very good ongoing game. They have, over the last year, last 6 months, really stepped up their game on putting new things in and improving things a lot. And quite frankly, now I'm just pissed off that it has been overlooked. It's not like it hasn't got a small community. It's huge.
Not here at the Unnamed Gaming Awards.
No, the Unnamed Gaming Awards, we love our small studios and small indie games, so yes.
Yes.
Not sponsored by Absolute Bellends. What?
The Unnamed Gaming Podcast, sponsored by Absolute Balance. I would love to make that the
like
name
an
of the
energy
title,
drink?
but I can't put Balance in the title.
I don't think. No, I think that'd be going too far.
YouTube would definitely ban that. Cool. We're going on to what I'm hoping is going to be quite a diverse little award. Best Indie.
Yes.
Tempest, you can go first.
Excellent. I was hoping you would. My best indie game that I played this year was Unpacking.
Yes! Oh my god, I'm so happy!
It's a very it's in a lot of lists for games of the year this year. I've read.
Yeah,
I wrote one earlier for best narrative being Unpacking, which is hilarious.
it has got a narrative actually.
I know, and I'm just like, I wasn't expecting this. When I was reading through it, I was like, I wasn't expecting this game to have a narrative, but apparently people love it. So good for you, Unpacking.
Yes, I loved Unpacking. It's like I looked through a lot of the games I played this year, and it's the fact that this is one of the ones that I played off stream.
Yeah,
I just did this on my own in my own time, and I was like, it was the best thing. Like when I was first looking at this list, I was talking when you sent it. I was playing with Hull, and I went through the list, and I was like, I could easily put Stardew Valley in every one of those, but it's not the first year I've played Stardew Valley. But I was looking through, like, I was going through the Game Pass and stuff because, you know, it's been a long year and I've not really remembered everything that's going on. But as soon as I saw Unpacking, I was like, no, that's it. Because I rinsed through it in like a day. Well, not even that, like an afternoon.
But are you 100% sure it's not Bee Simulator?
I
mean, are you 100%?
Bee Simulator did almost get on best score, but no, I mean,
surely Bee Simulator was best narrative.
Yes.
You're a bee.
Only just beaten out by Destiny 2 because there was guns. So, you know, Bee Simulator 2, just give them rocket launchers, we're fine.
The Tempest seal of approval.
Yeah.
Just give bees rocket launchers.
Give bees rocket launchers. Turn it into like a fucking, what is it, like a Star Wars Squadrons game where you're flying the bee and you're doing dogfights. Call me Bee Simulator.
Yeah.
Call Tempest.
I can do DLC. But yes, Unpacking, I thought it was a brilliant little game. Like you said, being nominated for narrative, there is like a little story to it, and I enjoyed seeing where it was going every time you got to a new house or wherever.
Yeah.
And, if you've not played it, I recommend doing it because it's not going to take forever to get through, and it's, if you like puzzles, you like just chilling out, it's the game for you.
Absolutely. It's good. I knew this one would get some good answers. I'm excited. Bendy, hit me.
I've been banging on about it for the last 2 weeks. Backbone.
Yeah, okay.
Because I really like. It was a toss up between that and Hades, and I've not completed either. But I don't see myself ever completing Hades because I'm bad at video games. But yeah, Backbone is the art style is beautiful. The music in it, in all fairness, is beautiful because there are some times where there isn't any, and that is also quite good for the narrative.
Yeah.
and the narrative is really good, and I'm wanting to go back in and play and see what happens within this story.
Yeah.
And anthropomorphic animals. That's not how you say that word, but you know what I mean.
We all know what you mean.
I really like raccoons. So, how could it not be my favorite indie game of the year? And I've only been playing it for 2 weeks. I'm like, this is a great game, and I don't have a lot of indie games under my belt, but everything about it, I'm enjoying.
You know what? Hades has already won so many awards. It can it can bore off
Don't
this
get me
time.
wrong. It's bloody brilliant, and it looks bloody brilliant.
Oh yeah, but it's literally
won't
won every
ever
single
compete
award
it.
that's out there, so it ain't happening anymore.
Backbone wins Admiral Bendy's Seaman Award.
Oh god, never say that ever again.
Oh.
Okay. Oh no. Oh, great. I should not have let Bender go before me. Well, I actually think this year has been an incredible year for indie games. There's been so many that have come out, and they've just been very good, which just proves, quite frankly, that AAAs can go get in the bin, as far as I'm concerned, this year. But my favourite indie game this year, I haven't really promoted it very much. I haven't gone off on one about it. It's been one of those that I've been quietly doing it in the background because I'm not a very good gamer as well, quite frankly. It's a little game called Death's Door, which I don't know if anybody's heard of it, but it's like this little dungeon crawler, and you play as a little crow that goes around reaping souls.
It come up on an episode a few weeks
I think it
back.
has, doesn't it? Yeah. But yeah, it's like a little 3D isometric action adventure dungeon crawler where you go around reaping souls as a little crow, and it's fun, it's well made, it's very pretty, it's got a good story, believe it or not. It's got a very cute little story, and it's got endgame content as well. So once you've finished the main part of it, you can go on and do a bit more, but only once you've finished it.
Oh.
So it's
good.
Yeah, it's a very cute little, cute little game.
I mean, I almost put money on you saying Power Wash Simulator, but
as I said, there were a lot of indie games this year that I loved. Power Wash was definitely one of them, FYI. Just got cooperative mode, just saying. But no, I just, as much as I love those games, thinking about how they're made and different aspects of it, yes, it's very fun in the sense that I enjoy it because it's a very soothing game, but it's not quite on the same league as something like Death's Door. It's it's very simple in comparison. She says that being sued by the creators of Power Wash because that's not simple at all. But in comparison, it's different. There's different ways of making it. It's just different. And it takes a lot more to make a game like Death's Door, which has got so many aspects to it. So, but yeah, Death's Door, my indie game for this year that I think everybody should go and play, and I think it might be on Game Pass.
I've seen it on Game Pass. I do believe. I think so.
I'm sure it was.
I looked the other day. I didn't see, but
either way, it may be.
I mean, you've made me want to play it, so
yeah.
I will also say that I only played it because my other half Andy played it and absolutely loved it. So who are the publishers for these guys? Why are you not telling me? I don't know, publishers. So yeah, the publishers were Devolver Digital. I think they have a sale on at Steam at the moment. They have their Steam sale going on, so I would.
It isn't on Game. I think it was on Game Pass.
I'm sure it was at some point, but it must have been taken off. Yeah, but like I said, it's Devolver Digital, and I'm sure they have a massive sale on at Steam at the moment.
I shall check it out.
But yes, go give it a look-see, because these small little games, they're made so well, and And
still get a good time out of them.
They're so much better than these AAA shit that you pay so much money for, and you still end up paying the same amount, like playing the same amount. So,
I was just about to say.
Yeah. But yes, you know, we're a big lover of indies in this podcast, so we would always say take an indie over a AAA anyway. Okay, so now
it's only £16 on Xbox as well if you don't have a Steam.
If you don't have Steam, it's a good Crimbo present from somebody. Just saying.
Yeah.
Going on to the last and possibly what's going to take us well over 3 hours of talking about our game of the year. I'm going to go first. I haven't gone first yet. I'm going to go first.
Shock horror.
So, just thinking over everything from gameplay to narrative to score to everything in one encompassing package, the game that I thought really deserved to get Game of the Year has, in fact, I think, been nominated for Game of the Year. Oh, excuse me if I'm wrong. It's Kena, The Bridge of Spirits. I
do believe it is.
Yes. I just thought this game was, for the studio size that it was such a beautiful game. And no, it's not this open world game that everybody says, oh, they're so perfect, open world. But it has great, like, it's got great exploration in it. It's not open world, but you can do things in certain orders and get them done, and there's lots to it. I had some issues with controls, but that was probably more because I was playing on PS5 and I'm just not used to a PS5 controller. And yes, I had some issues with its leveling, like what it called which level when you chose, you know, where you wanted to what you wanted to play the game as, starter, you know, medium, hard, and all that. But overall, the art is gorgeous, the soundtrack is gorgeous. I fell in love with the little rock characters. I was invested in wanting to know, and at the end of the game, with what happened at it, I want a second one. I want another one. I want them to make more. So that's my Game of the Year. Kena, I think, really does deserve to get it. I think it deserves the title, especially over some of the other crap. So yeah, Tempest, you go next.
I go next. We know what's coming.
We do.
Ratchet and Mother Flipping Clank.
Another very well-deserved game to be nominated this year, and I will not begrudge it if it wins.
Yeah, one of the only games I played from this list, of any of those lists. But
yeah,
I mean, Ratchet and Clank is the same level of game for me as like Overwatch is. It's like Overwatch is my FPS love. Ratchet and Clank is like my platforming love. And I've played every iteration. I played it. I got the original game more or less day of release as well. Didn't even know anything about it. I just saw it and I was like, oh, I'll get this. And I loved it. And I've been hooked since. And as soon as it was announced and it was like, I was like, well, that's day one purchase. I'm playing that. I'm loving it. It's just everything about it. The script is always fantastic because it's got such good humor in it.
Yeah.
And obviously the stories are always brilliant. There's always a few twists in them as well. The characters are fantastic. My one complaint from it is the fact that there was no real Captain Quark.
Yes, it's true.
But I mean, it was almost a perfect game for me, pretty much. So that's my vote.
Yeah, that is a very good choice, quite frankly. And as I said, if that wins over Kena, I would still be happy because I played that game and I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
Kena, unfortunately, is not up for Game of the Year.
Oh, it's not. I knew it was one of them.
It's up for Indie of the Year.
Indie of the Year.
It's Best Art Direction. And I think Best Indie, yeah.
Yeah, it's Indie.
Yeah,
I knew it
Best
was
Indie.
one of them.
Yeah.
So you go. You got
I've
no
got to win
competition.
that one. Just saying.
Well, there were a few indie games that I think were nominated that might.
Best Story is voted Best Indie as well, so
We shall see then. But Bendy, rounding out this topic for this week, what was your game of the year?
So I chose this because this is just generally the most fun I've had in a game, and I don't necessarily think it is like game of the year traditionally like game of the year should be, but I've chosen Back 4 Blood.
Okay.
I had so much fun playing that game, and it's probably because I had so much fun playing with my friends, and I don't know what it is. I didn't game a lot at the beginning of the year, and I've started gaming a lot more since we've started this podcast. But there's no other game that really sort of hit me, maybe apart from the Medium.
Yeah.
But there's not enough of it for me to have put it as game of the year. But Back 4 Blood, yeah, it was jank, quite jank at points, and the difficulty was really, really difficult. But I just liked running in, shooting a load of zombos. The tactical way you have to think about the way that you level your deck and stuff, and what deck you're going to play with certain characters you're going to play with, I thought was a really fun, different aspect to these sort of games. And it wasn't just like you choose someone and you go in. You genuinely have to go, right, I'm going to be dark, so therefore I'm going to have to make sure that all of my healing's really good. Or I'm going to choose someone else whose name I can't remember because I only ever chose Doc because I'm a healer. That's the way I work. And you're like, oh, but this guy's a melee guy, so I'll choose melee kills, and melee kills heal and stuff. I really like that. Graphically, it was really pretty as well. Yeah, and I just had a really good time with it. And I'm going to say it's not on. I think it's on it's been nominated for one thing. It's not going to win anything. So I'm just like, Back 4 Blood. I had loads of fun with you, Back 4 Blood.
I think it's got co-op. I think it's been nominated for co-op of the year.
Give me a bit more. Just give me a bit more.
Just a bit more.
Add some DLCs where you just go and kill some more zombies or something. I don't know. I did have a lot of fun with it. So traditionally, probably not the best game of the year, but this is not what it is traditionally. This is Bendy's best game of the year. So fuck you.
I mean, it's like we said, this is the Unnamed Gaming Awards.
The Unnamed
there's
Gaming
nothing
Awards.
Conventional about it here.
Absolutely
is there?
not.
No.
And you can tell that by the fact that Bendy just swore at our audience.
You don't like it? Fuck you. Well, the only games that I've finished this year are The Medium and Resident Evil Village. And Resident Evil Village was fine, but I don't want to go back to it.
No.
Whereas Back 4 Blood, I would go back and I play. If someone goes, oh, do you want to jump on Back 4 Blood for an hour? I'll be like, yeah, sweet. I'll do that. It may change in the next week because I'm going to be playing Halo non-stop, but right now,
you can have that next year. I am just going to quickly put in another one for you guys and see you squirm and sweat.
Oh, God.
You
had this planned.
I did have this planned. See how that worked. What is your most anticipated game for next year?
I really annoy you. It's been a while too.
For anybody that, by the way, is not sure what the hell is going on right now, when we did an episode a couple of weeks ago when it was the nominees were announced for the Gaming Awards, there is a Gaming Award for Most Anticipated Game. There were a few games that haven't even got dates announced for them yet. It was basically just an Elden Ring award. But I really want to know what these guys' most anticipated game was for next year, because there are some that are announced that we're all looking forward to. So Bendy's is the Breath of the Wild 2 that doesn't even have a name.
Tempest. Breath of the Wild 2. But then they're going to be sued by Nintendo. Going to be sued
because it's got 2 in it.
Using 2.
Oh, is it because it's now Breath of the Wild? It Takes 2.
It Takes 2.
Yeah.
It's now a co-op game and you play as Link and Zelda.
Oh no!
That sounds amazing. But it wouldn't be be surprised though. I wouldn't be surprised if it does drop next year. They literally get halfway through the year and go, oh, by the way,
it's coming out.
We're dropping Breath of the Wild. And then I'll fucking freak out and I will take 3 weeks off of work and I will just play that fucking game. But
he's not joking.
Yeah. I literally am not joking. I don't care because it'll probably come out over my birthday because they usually come out in November, except when they released it in line with the Switch. So if they release it in November, I always take time off in November anyway, and I will just play the shit out of that game. So Nintendo, can you please release? If you release it on my birthday, that'll be good. Thank you. Cheers, Nintendo.
Tempest.
This is. I would have said before the news we had a few weeks back, 100% it would have been Overwatch 2, but obviously,
yeah, there's
the delay is more or less probably not coming out until 2023 at this point. I'm probably. It's going to be one of the ones off the list just because there was 2 on there that I really am looking forward to. And I think at the time I sided with Horizon Zero Dawn. But I feel like on the spot at this moment in time, I'd rather, like, if you gave me like both games in front of me and said, right, you can play one right now, I think I'd take God of War Ragnarok. So I think that will be my choice.
Okay, interesting. I thought one of those two would be up there for you.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it would have been I'd have been shouting Overwatch 2 over Bendy shouting Breath of the Wild 2 at the same time. But like I said, I know the delay is probably keeping it off of next year. So yeah, I mean, it is one of the bigger games, but at the end of the day, it's I enjoyed both of those games immensely, and I would be lying if I said I wasn't excited for them. So there you go. Nettle.
Very cool.
Let's have yours.
So, in a strange turn of events, my most anticipated game for next year is Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Oh shit! Oh. Can I change my answer?
Absolutely fucking not, because
it's my answer. Change my answer because it's a game that's actually coming out next year.
And it's Borderlands meets D&D.
Fucking hell! Jesus Christ!
Oh,
of course.
Well done, Nettle.
Yes.
Well done.
Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep is the best DLC ever made. Stand by it.
Did you get your free copy from the Epic Game Store?
What, the one shot? No, I have it on the Hanson collection.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I have it on that, but I got it anyway because they've actually optimized it to make it like a.
Oh, have they?
An actual one shot, yeah.
Yeah. So you play it as from start to finish. I think it kind of leveled. Like, I think you start with a higher level character or something, but I haven't gone through it yet.
You start at level 1 and they've downgraded the characters,
right.
the bad. But oh balls! Of course, I honestly I didn't know what was coming out next year, and I just thought it would be funny to annoy Nettle. So
the thing is, like, being put on the spot. That's the thing. My mind just went to what was on that fucking list.
Yeah.
I feel like Nettle cheated. You know, this question's coming.
It's coming. I could look into it. So obviously, I will say I am looking forward to Destiny 2, The Witch Queen. However, it's not a game, it's a DLC, and I will very much put my hand on it. It's an expansion. It's not a game to itself. And I am very much looking forward to it. And I do have friends to play it with, but I know for a fact that pretty much all of the friends that I know will be looking forward to Wonderlands and will be playing it and will be having such a good time, and it'll be all we'll talk about for a good month.
Oh yeah, we're all gonna be on this podcast saying what you've been playing on Wonderlands again. Yeah, I played Wonderlands, guys. I played Wonderlands.
I played through it with the 4th character.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
but yes,
okay. Well done.
That is mine, and I feel like everybody else's actual anticipated game of the year.
Absolutely,
the game that's actually
100%.
released.
It's actually going to be released, and everybody will love it. Cool.
Yes. Excellent.
Well, that unfortunately is the end of everything as we know it.
What?
It's just gone.
The end of the
The
podcast
world as we know it.
For this year.
For this year.
For this year.
Yes, we are not going to be doing another episode now until it will be coming out on the 1st of January. So the first day of 2022, you will get to hear our delectable voices. I apologise, it is entirely my fault. Unfortunately, next week is a horrendous week for me, and then the week after is obviously the week of Christmas, and everything is a bit topsy-turvy at the moment. So this will be our last episode for a while. However, we have a very special live event happening next Tuesday. Now, people, if you think back to a few episodes ago, I can't remember, I think it was about 4, maybe, where we spoke about a certain game and a certain lovable deity saving the podcast. Very, very pleased to say that next Tuesday, our lovable Bendy will be playing Cthulhu. Yeah. Was it Cthulhu Saves Christmas?
I am playing Cthulhu Saves Christmas over on Twitch. We have a Twitch channel now.
And we will be sharing this.
TV/
The
Unnamed Gaming Podcast.
We will be sending it all over our social medias. But yes, Bendy will be playing. It's scheduled for around 8 p.m. at the moment, isn't it?
Yes. There will be horns involved.
Cosplay.
Costumes. Things going on. You don't know what's hit you. It will probably be me being really fucking awkward, and that's good fun. So yeah, come and join me, please.
Me and Tempest will be.
Yeah, we will be there too.
We will be there,
Bendy,
keeping her company
occupied.
So we will share out all our links. But yes, everybody, please, next Tuesday, put it in your diaries and come along, support Bungie, and have a laugh with us. Before Christmas. Let's save Christmas with Cthulhu.
Because if you don't, Christmas is cancelled.
Christmas is cancelled. Yeah. All right.
We're doing this for you.
Yeah.
Just remember that.
For you.
You
I'm pretty sure we'll put.
Fault.
If you missed the live event, we'll pop it up on YouTube or something like that.
It will be up on.
I don't know how that works.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
don't worry about that.
I can take care of that. That's one.
There you go. See,
well,
Tempest saves the day.
Good. Yeah. And then if you will enjoy that, I might play the other one. Cthulhu Saves the World. We'll see.
That's a promise.
Ooh.
But, I mean, on that note, I think we are planning on doing some live stuff over the course of next year. For 2022, you may see some live podcasting. You can see it all go wrong as it happens. Yes. You can actually see us when we do motions towards various cameras and stuff. Can you imagine?
We'll get banned from YouTube, quite frankly.
I'll have to wear trousers.
Oh.
No, you don't. You don't. Trust me. I'm on Teams calls all the time.
It's fine. We can't.
You got my tops, like nipple up, you're fine. Nipple down, you don't mean anything else.
So boob tubes, I'm okay with, yeah.
Yeah, boob tubes fine.
Excellent. I'm bringing them back.
I'll sort you out, Tempest. Don't you worry.
God, this conversation. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening. We will hopefully see you all next week, and if not, we'll see you all in the new year. Have a very Merry Christmas, a New Year, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you, everybody.
Everyone.
Bye.